This is Nikki in Niagara, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. And welcome. Sorry, I have a hard time getting into my chair. I want to be comfy. And welcome to vlog number 17. I don't know if I'm going to keep saying the numbers. What happens when we get up to 162? Will I go, and welcome to vlog 162. So anyways, welcome. Just got these here for you to look at, but I do have something to say about them. But, oh wait, let's keep them here. Now, first of all, I have a great big hearty thank you going out to all my supporters, to those of you who have used the links that I leave below to make your purchases from Amazon, and those give me, each time you buy something, I get a small percentage in commission for having sent you there. And also a big thank you to the people who watch the ads in my videos. If there ever gets to be too many ads, or they're bothering you in some way, just let me know, because it wasn't too long ago that YouTube did a big trick to us all and turned on all the ads because they had added something new, a new version, well, a new type of ad. Same ad, but just in the way that it works on showing up for you. And so they just went and turned everything on, and I got a comment from someone who was new to my channel saying, I really like the work you do here, but you've got the most ads on a coloring channel I've seen in my life. And I'm like, what? there shouldn't be that many. So yeah, if something happens like that, let me know, and I'll see what I can do to it, because I don't set the ads so that there's a lot of them, or I don't have them come on in the middle of the video, because I find that very irritating, and it's like watching TV if you get a video and get an ad in the middle of the video. So yeah, you should just have them at the beginning. I can put them at the end, but I don't know, that seems kind of, most people don't stay to the end anyways. So I don't know, I thought maybe I would turn that on, because the chances of people watching that one, I guess, are much slimmer. But then it wouldn't really hurt anyone, since you can just skip it and just video's over, so, you know, go. It could get me a few more cents here and there, but anyways, I want to thank you for watching the ad that would appear at the beginning of the video. Many of them are skippable, and I thank you for not skipping them. This week here, the last couple of days, we YouTubers got our payments both from Amazon for links clicked and Google for ads watched on YouTube. So I'm thanking you very much, and I am placing an order and trying to pick things that are good for the channel. So I'll be doing that today, so your input isn't going to change what I buy this time. But if you could make suggestions down below on things that you'd like to see me get for the channel, then please do make the suggestions, because that's what I do with that money that I receive. I put it back into the channel, so that hopefully at some point in time I will be breaking even with what I spend and what I get, them equaling each other, which would be great. So again, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys this. It's the latest coloring book that I got. It came yesterday, and it is called Autumn Scenes, and it's from Coloring Book Cafe. Well, Coloring Book Cafe just sent an email out saying don't miss out on, or I think it was don't miss out on the special price for this, because this was their last book that they had out, and take a look at the books that we had come out last month, or in September. Is it September now or October? It's September now. Anyways, in the last month. And so I looked through the 4 books, and I'm like, I bought them all. I've never bought a Coloring Book Cafe book in ever. And much less not having ever bought one, I'd never even seen one. I don't know if I've seen flips of them. I must have, yes. Yeah, I think I have. I've seen a flip of a couple of the country ones, and they piqued my interest. But I just didn't know, when looking at the flip-throughs, you don't get... I don't know, I just wasn't getting a sense of what they'd really be like. And I just have to say that, like, how happy I am with the ones I've got. This is a new kind of coloring for me. This book right here is quite simple, and it reminds me of Jade Summer's autumn book. That it's just different pictures that, like, aren't related to each other, except that they express fall. Except that these are proper full-page illustrations. They're simple, but they have a bit of, you know, background and everything to them. And while the Jade Summer Autumn book is just a small picture in the center of the page with a couple of items, I do remember from the flip that there are a couple of full-page pictures, but they're, I don't know, it just seems too simple for what I want to do. So I was quite pleased with this, and I'm also happy that they have Thanksgiving in here now, because we celebrate Thanksgiving in October, because that's when the harvest is here. So, I mean, these are adorable pictures. They're just more realistic than the Jade Summer cartoony style. Now, I used to like that, and I still do. I still like the cartoony style, but it's not all I want to do. And I'm really starting to enjoy doing landscapes and just kind of like outdoor pictures, that's got a person in it, but excuse me, like, looking at this, and I just, like, I love it. I want to color it. I love the old truck and the sunflowers, the barn. I like coloring the outsides of buildings. So yeah, it's a new direction I'm going in my coloring. Now, the next book that I have here, maybe one of you knows something about this book, because I received this yesterday. It is a gift. It was on my wish list, but it did not come with any information as to who it was from, so it's leaving me in with quite a mystery as to who gifted this to me, because I know I did not buy it. I wanted it, but I didn't buy it. So which one of you lovelies bought this for me? Because if you don't want to be known, I understand. I hate a mystery, but I can live with it, and I appreciate it very much, whether you become known to me or stay hidden. I appreciate this very much, because I love Angela Porter, and I just haven't been coloring her. I did one a few months ago out of the Christmas. Oh, it was in Christmas in July. Yeah, I did one in the Christmas book because I had left it a whip, and I couldn't believe that. I don't do whips. Now, I love sea pictures. I love coloring under the sea. Well, I like to be on land coloring pictures of under the sea. So these are going to be fun. I'm going to get to use all those marine colors. The blue greens and the green blues. I just love those colors. So thank you very much for this. It is much appreciated, and it will show up on the channel. So that leaves us to the purpose that we're all here, and that is for me to do some color and chatting. Excuse me while I have a sip of my drink. So I'm just going to do my, I'm just going to use my alcohol markers that I have on my right hand side here. I just don't know if they are, there they slipped down the ledge. There we go. Now I can reach them. Oh, why can I never have a tidy desk? I know why. That's because I get my hands on it. So yes, on the side here I have a set of 80, with quite a few missing, oh-hoo-hoos, and a set of, what do they call themselves? Noir spectrums. So we'll be picking from there. I'll probably mostly use the oh-hoo-hoos. Oh my goodness, my brain is on slow motion. So this picture that I'm going to do today is a pretty picture. It's out of the Shades of Darkness book. Now, not everything in here is horror. Some of it is just simply goth, which is what this picture is. Now, I'm going to kind of keep the goth vibe, but these things that are, these driplets right here, I think I want them to be tears, not blood. So I want those to be tears. I want this to be, I mean, this can be a, there's the cross here, and what I take is supposed to be a rosary, though we would never put a rose in the center of the cross. That is where the saint or Jesus himself would be. So I don't want to pay too much attention to the cross. I want to have the picture showing to the flowers, and I want these to be tears, but I do want to keep it dark and use, I'm going to color in some of this lace here black or dark gray, and the flowers are going to be black. And now where's black? Do I have a black in any of these? As usual, I have a pile of blacks over on the other side. Wonder. Whoops, don't be falling. Hey, let me take a look in the Smart Color Arts. See if I left the black in here. Yes, I did. Good. Okay, so we're going to do the flowers black and pink. Let me get my thing here. I guess we'll go with 8 or 9. Whichever I see first. I see 9. Okay, so that's pale pink and black. So, going to do, if the rose is going to be the light color, I need it to be brighter than this. Do the roses red or pink? Red is typical of a picture like this. I think I need to get a darker pink. Number 6 is the one I want. Oh, wait a minute. The 9 that I had in my hand could have been a 9 or a 6. Now that I look at it, it looks more like it is the 6. Okay. I have no scratch paper. Come on, where's a piece of scratch paper? Now I'm going for a ride. Okay, now let's see if I can get myself... Whoa! Here I am. I'm back again. So I'm going to check this out and see if it's the bright pink or the light pink. Oh good, it is the bright one. Okay, we're ready to go. So, gonna color this. Okay, I'm gonna do use the black first. And I have my blotter page. So we're ready to go. So, today is Tuesday, and it is about 3 o'clock, I'm gonna guess. But I'm gonna go back to Friday, because last time I talked to you guys was on, oh no, Saturday. Saturday is the day. So, on Saturday, my husband, Mr. Niagara, took me out for a bit of an outing. It wasn't anywhere exciting or anything. It's just I had some things to do, some places I needed to go, and he said he'd take me. We could do it all in one day and take me out and have a little nice time while we were at it. So that's what we did. And the first thing that we did was I had to go to the lab because, as I told you in the last time, my doctor gave me a lab requisition to go get all my blood work done, and everything that you can get from your blood I'm getting done. So I need to get that done, so I have it ready to take with me to the weight loss clinic. And it isn't real, well, I guess it's called the Wharton Clinic for Diabetes-Related Obesity. And you don't have to have diabetes to do it. Technically, I am a tinge of a point pre-diabetic. So, it does include me. I went there before, and I told y'all about this in the last video, so I'm not going to go over that again. But I needed to get my labs done for that. So, so we went, and there's this lineup that is the length of the entire building. And so we're coming in from the other side, so we come in and we go past the doors where there's signs, and it says blood and lab appointments line up here. So we went, okay, hopefully this line moves fast. And we got into the line. Well, it was not moving fast. In fact, it wasn't hardly moving at all. It did move, but it took it a really long time to move just a short distance. And you know, we're getting antsy. I had my walker with me, so I was okay. It was cold though. I had to I was sat so that I was like, if you sit on it so that you can get up and use it, you're sitting backwards of the way that other people would be standing. But that was okay because I was facing Mr. Niagara. And yeah, so anyways, a lady comes out and she kind of stands away from, like, in the middle of the lineup, and she's like facing us, and she says, if you go online and make an appointment, they'll call your name and you can go in. So, you know, we're like, oh, you know, and some people get out their phones. I guess they're going to make appointments. Well, we don't have data on our phone. It's too expensive. We just use our phones as phones, and for, well, we do whatever we want with them at home where we have our own internet. And others were just kind of like, sighing and getting ready for the great wait and stuff. So we're waiting some more. And, a lady behind us gets called, and we're like, oh, man, my Mr. Niagara doesn't have a very, very short, he has very short patience when he's waiting. It's one of the things that he cannot stand, is to wait in line. So he says, look, I'm going to go up to the front and see if I can talk to somebody and find out what's going on here. So he goes up to the front, and he never found anybody that he could, an official person to talk to about what was going on. But a man who was about third in line said to him that he had been in the line since 10 o'clock, and it was now closing in on 1:30. And there was no way we were going to stand around waiting for 4.5 hours. Is that right? 10, 11, 12, 1, 30. Oh, 3.5 hours. So yeah, that was not going to happen. So we left, and when we got home, we tried to call to make an appointment for today at around 11. You can't do that. You can't make an appointment. You have to, and it's not call. Sorry, we went online, and they weren't open on the weekend, so we can't go online and do this making an appointment business over the weekend. You can only do it when they're open, which seems to defeat the whole being able to do it online thing. Online's not closed on the weekends. So he said what you have to do is decide that that's the day that you're going to go, and then you log in and you sign in, and it tells you how long it will take for, like, how long your wait is going to be. And so, like, when he was checking it out, the wait was 106 minutes. And that's like, well, it's an hour and a half, and more than that. It's like an hour and 45 minutes. So we didn't want to. Well, we couldn't. That wasn't going to work for us. So now we just have to wait until Mr. Niagara gets enough time off of work that we can go over there. So he says that he thinks he's having tomorrow off. Like, his jobs are all screwed up since COVID. They don't make the schedule up in time. He gets called in. He doesn't find out what days he's working until the day before. And so basically we just sit around waiting to find out if he's working before we do anything. So he says tomorrow he's probably not working. So hopefully tomorrow we can make our appointment, and then you're supposed to head on over at the time that they gave you to wait, and then you wait. And then they call your name when they call your name. So it doesn't mean you're not going to have to wait. It just means that they will eventually call your name. It's ridiculous. It really is. So that's that part. But anyways, it's probably not going to hold up the process anyways. So anyways, back to the day. We walked away, said, okay, that's it. We're not doing this. And then we went to Michael's, because I had wanted to go to Michael's to get, I had a list of Prismacolors that I needed restocking on. I was either getting down to a nubby or would be soon. And once my pencils get that short, I stop using them, because I'm afraid I'll run out and not have an extra I don't know. That wouldn't really happen because I could always use the nub again. I sharpen them until they're, my Prismas anyways, I sharpen them until they're down to where it says the number, PC, whatever, because I save the nubs in a jar, or I'm going to, because these are my first nubs. I'm going to be saving them in a jar, and I like the idea of the number being on them. So yeah, I need to use this side. What side was I using on when I did that? I don't know. Just felt weird using the nib. So we go to Michael's, and Michael's really, pardon my language, sucks here. It really does. You cannot go to Michael's wanting something and them having it and you leaving and being all happy. No. The only way you can use Michael's here is to go to browse. That you've got a coupon and it's burning a hole in your pocket and you need to buy something, but you don't have any, you don't care what, you just want to find something you like. So then you roam around the store and hopefully you can find something that the coupon will work for and that you want. But if you go there wanting something, they won't have it. So I went to look at the open stock Prismas, and first of all, there are 150 Prisma colors, and the section that they have set up for where the Prisma colors are held maybe 50. So the chance of you finding what you wanted there is pretty small. I mean, basically it's 30%, or 33.3. So, blender, nope, didn't have it. Black, nope, didn't have it. White, nope, didn't have it. Imperial violet, oh yes, they have one that I need. And I kept going through the list, no. Dark green, yes. And then the rest of the list was no. My list wasn't that big, but I had probably, besides the white, black, and blender, probably had about 7, maybe. So that was a total of 10 pencils, and I came home with 2. So I was, that put me in a real downer. So he was like, Mr. Niagara was like, do you want to go home now then and call that a day? And I said, well, maybe we could go to Value Village. Now, I wanted to go to Value Village because my sister is telling me how, like, she goes to her Value Village regularly and comes home with pencils and coloring supplies all the time. And she has found some really good deals. She got the Koh-i-Noor Tritone 24 set for $3. And she got a full unopened set of Prisma Scholars for, I don't remember how much, but it was only dollars. And she's found tons of coloring books and lots of other stuff. So I went like, yeah, I want to do that. But I went and I looked over the whole place, looked everywhere that they could possibly have a pencil or a coloring book, and they had nothing. So after that, it was like, take me home. I was absolutely just worn out. I could barely walk into the house. I mean, I hadn't really been doing that much walking. I walked to where the section that I wanted to be in and then sat down with my walker, remember? But let's do her hand and get that done, because this is like fishnet, so her skin's going to show through there and all that. And I think I won't mind going over I might do this with gel pens. That might make sense. So if I do her arm, and I don't really worry too much about what I could go over, and I'll go over that, yeah. Alright, so, let me take a look at my skin tones first, then I'll know which one to get. Alright, so goths always go with really pale skin. So yes, we're going to use one down here. Let's go with pearl white. It kind of has a bit of, yeah, 109. So these are my skin tones. It's a Daxi 30 piece. So 109 is the color that I want. Pearl white. No, let's use this side. So yeah, that wasn't a very exciting, well, I mean, it had a lot of stuff happening, but I was just absolutely zonked when I came home. I ended up coming home with nothing accomplished and 2 Prismacolor pencils in my pocket. Oh dear. Yeah, it annoyed me when it happened, and it annoys me now thinking back to it, but what can you do? There's no point getting worked up about something that you have absolutely no control over. My goodness, these are juicy. They're too juicy. It's just dripping out of this thing. Yeah. So, can't really tell you much new this week on the reading. I'm still, well, I talked to T on Thursday, and I'm basically just a little bit further ahead. I used to be a huge reader where I would read, you know, I could read a 400-page book over the weekend if it was a page-turner. Otherwise, it would take me, you know, maybe 3 days. And, you know, but now it takes me like a week, at least. Because I just don't set that much time aside for reading, but I am keeping it up because I really do want to get back into it. Now, let's just see. There's no thumb, so where would it be? It would be here. And it's probably wrapped around here, but that's a stem. It could be behind there. Let's just do that bit. Right there. Okay, so now I'm going to get into her arm and go over the fishnet and the chain too, because I'm going to go over that with metallic. So yeah, that's reading. I'm not listening to anything. I don't think I'm going to do the listening, because I just don't listen to music anymore. I don't want to force myself to listen to music. Every once in a rare while, I'll put some Depeche Mode on, and that'll keep me happy. They were my favorite band as a teenager, and they still are. Okay, well, this is working. It's really weird having just one hand, though. So I think I'm definitely going to be doing some gel pen work on this. Okay, so now I think that I need to color all this in, because that is going to be lace. See Yeah. I really have to not pay any attention to going over, because I'm going to use a gel pen anyways to go over the design in here, so that will write right over this color of ink. And watching now, there I have some information. First thing that I watched over the weekend was Des, the three-part TV program about Dennis Nielsen, who was one of the most prolific serial killers in the UK, and it starred David Tennant. Is that his name? David? David Tennant. That's what I want to call him. I hope that is his name. It starred him anyways, and I never watched Doctor Who when he was in it. I know him from that other British mystery show, and I believe, I mix it up. I'm thinking it's the one that's on one of the Hebrides Islands, but that might be the one. I don't know. I know him from a detective show anyways. Police procedural. And so I watched Des, and I knew there was some controversy in England over the portrayal or of something to do with the show. So I was watching it with an eye open to what could have caused all that. And I really don't know what it was all about. Oh, not what I want. I want a green. Let's go with a dark green. 43 might be a bit too dark. Mm, 61 is getting a bit too blue. 54 or 55 both look good. There's 54. So I really enjoyed it. I have to say I don't know much about British serial killers. My main specialty of what I know is American. Now I do know, like if I hear names, I'll know who. I had heard of Dennis Nielsen before, and I knew he was a British serial killer, but that was the extent of it. You know, and of course I know Peter Sutherland and, what are those other two guys' names? The guy and the girl. Oh man, I can't remember their names. I would know them if I heard them. I do know what they are, they're just not coming to me. So, yeah, I was in England when the Yorkshire Ripper was at the height of his spree, if you want to call it that, because it was in 1982 and I was in Huddersfield, and now he killed a girl in Huddersfield, like close around to that time. So I remember, because I went there with a friend. It was our first time, first big travel by ourselves. I believe we were 13. And I remember my aunt and uncle having a conversation about whether they should let us go down to some place, I can't remember it. And I remember them talking about the Yorkshire Ripper. I don't think they wanted us to really know what they were talking about. Yeah, so that's all I remember. I can't remember what the outcome was. Now, I will say that for a serial killer show, a true crime show, that it was pretty laid back. And perhaps that's the thing that was controversial about it. From what I heard, like, I only read headlines unless there's a reason to not. I get my Google News, and I have it set up to only tell me about the things I want to know. And I saw some things, and it would be about David Tennant's. Somehow I think I've got that wrong. Peter Tennant? No, it's David. Anyways, about the controversy, I think, was about his portrayal. He portrayed him as a very clever person, and that he kind of played his capture, that he wanted to be caught. He couldn't give himself up because of his ego, but he did kind of set up the situation that allowed him to be caught. And then he played friends with the police at the beginning and gave them all the information that they wanted, and then at the end he turns around and they all think he's going to plead guilty to everything. He turns around and pleads not guilty to every single one, even though he has confessed and told them exactly how and where and who he killed. Well, not who. He said the number of people that he killed really kind of, I wasn't sure about, because for some reason the police had the number 12, that he had killed 12 people. But when they were arresting him and he was in the car, when they said 12, he said no, 15. And then he supposedly talked about it off scene, and they believed him that he had killed 15 people. And it's getting kind of dark in here, isn't it? The sun was shining in on everything. I think that helps. And then when the coroner is finished examining all the bones and stuff, he says that there's enough bones there for 20 individuals. So why did the police stick with the number 15? That's one thing that I didn't understand. And of those 15, there was 8 who remained never identified and aren't identified as of today. But yeah, he played him very calm. Most of the time. He did lose his temper occasionally, but mostly he was calm and cold and calculating. And that was just all done from facial work, really, on Tennant's part. He used showed a lot of emotion in his face. So he'd be very quiet, but you could just tell by the look on his face that he was calculating. But anyways, I don't want to get into what the whole story was about and all that kind of stuff, because you should watch it if you're interested. And then the other thing I watched, yeah, I'm not going to have time to tell you that. I'll have to start next time with that. So, the rest of this is going to be done in gel pen. I just don't know about the so-called tears. I think I'm going to do them kind of like a light. Well, I was going to think of doing them a light green, but then I don't think people would know that they were tears. I'll do them in a light blue, but it has to be something opaque to go over that. Yeah, so I think I'll use my gel pens to go over that. Let's see, what do we got here? This is all metal work. Oh, I guess I can do the... So I just have the 2 roses left because I'm going to do the fingernails in gel pen as well. So yeah, I think I'm going to close now, and I will start tomorrow with telling you about the crime noir that I watched this morning, which was really good. So we'll just have to hope that I can remember it from one day to the next, because I have a very short memory. So anyways, I'm going to log off now, and I will see you next time. So, see you in a minute. Well, I am back a little later than I had planned. It's Friday. I seem to always like to record on Fridays. So it is 6 o'clock, and husband, Mr. Niagara, is working late tonight. So got the whole evening ahead of me. But I thought I'd sit down and do my last recording here so that on the weekend I can get this all put together and uploaded and ready to go for you guys on Monday morning. So, well, let's just talk about what I'm coloring first. I am coloring out of this book right here, Great Scenes from Horror Stories by John Green. It is a Dover coloring book. I do have a flip recorded of it, but I haven't put it up yet. So if you're interested in one, I will put it up sooner rather than later, so just let me know in the comments down below. I am using pencils. I'm using the Black Widow pencils, and I've basically just been working on doing the background because it was just all stone as far as I was concerned. It looked like there's a fence in the background, so I've just started getting around to doing some color here. So I brought all my stuff over from the bed over here. Let me get the colors I'm working with, and I'm working on this one so we can get going. So I've colored with pencils a couple of times, I think, on, well, I know I have, but I don't think it's much more than a couple of times that I've done it on screen. I really enjoy coloring with pencils. I'm not, don't look at the way I do it and say, oh, so that's how you do it. This is not the way to do it. I just kind of color my way, which is a combination between straight coloring and messing around with techniques and other not straight coloring ways that I've picked up along the way, and just kind of use a combination of it. So straight coloring and messing around is how you could describe. Oh, you know, the one thing I didn't bring over here. Let's see if I can roll over there. Oh. And roll back. Oh, I can't get a good push. I'm coming. There we go. Couldn't get a good push off. So there we go. There's my shavings. So yeah, I just absolutely, I love coloring with pencils. They're so meditative, and I love pencil crayons, like the actual item in my hand. I love them. I love the way they feel. I love the way they look. I love the way they smell. I love them so much. And I love the beautiful colors that they come in. So I've started to get myself quite a collection of them compared to what I have with markers, because it's kind of like, as long as I have the colors that I need, then I'm perfectly, they're more, what's the word I'm trying to think of? They're more functional than they are a beauty. Though I guess Copics come pretty close to being a beauty, that brush. So, I'm gonna go over with another layer. So I do like doing layers. And you can layer with the, or at least I can, layer with the Black Widows or a few good runs. I think this is my fourth layer now. I find I can usually get 5 layers with my wax-based pencils. As long as I do my first 3 layers quite softly. And I know I wasn't doing it just then, but when I do my first 3 layers, I hold it back here. That's something that I've learned since watching other people color. I was very heavy-handed when I started, and I still am, but I don't have to keep correcting myself. I used to be like, I just diligently wouldn't let myself hold the pencil with a death grip or push like I was trying to dig to China. I would just, every time I did that, it would be stop, Nikki, lay off, loosen up, stop pushing, and I would just do that over and over and over again until I was annoying myself. And now I push just as much as I want to. Like right now I am pushing a little bit because I want to darken up this color and I don't want to go over it another layer. Got the color good up here, but it's quite a bit lighter down here. I have a bit of a hoarse throat today. Don't know what it's from. Could be from lack of talking. I haven't really talked to anyone today. My son has got himself all set up with his gaming and is going full strong there. He did the garbage last night, which can get to be a big job, and he did his schooling today, so that's all of us. Now, what color should her blouse be? Yellow, I think. Have I got any yellows out here? I have a peach, but no yellow. Okay, so let's pick the color and then I'll get to chatting. So, I'm just going to do a 2-color blend. Don't have a lot of just plain old yellows in the Black Widows. As you can see right here, I've got yellows, and this is according, I've got my swatching done according to Coloring Bliss, but these two are considered dark yellows, and then you go to here, and then once you get past here, they're yellow greens. So yeah, this set definitely needs some yellows. Oh, yeah, what are those? Are those all yellow greens? Is that what I don't use yellow very often. I I guess these are the more yellow yellows because they're orange, red orange, orange, orange yellow. That's what these are. Okay. These are the green yellows and these are the orange yellows. So I guess we got right here, we have the two brightest yellows, and I think I like banana. So let's go with, what have we got over here? What can I use for a base? I think I like the pastel lemon. Let's go with banana and pastel lemon. So banana is back here. Where are my yellows? It's not them. Here we are. Not seeing banana. Oh, there it is. And pastel lemon from up here is the very first one. So, it's back. Oh, it's tedious picking colors. Maybe that's why I don't color with pencils much online. So let's just go over the week. Not much happened. I can't remember when I did my talk. I think it was way back on Monday. Well, nothing happened on Tuesday except that I knew we were going to be making the appointment for my blood the next day. So I was just a little bit nervous about that because I only like going out one day of the week. That's my anxiety there. So it makes me nervous when I have to go out more than once a week. I think which, this one. So that's all I did. And then on Wednesday we made the appointment and we were told to arrive. I can't remember what time. You know, I think I'm going to do her hair blonde too. I use one of these light browns and this, make a blonde shade. So we went for the time that we were supposed to be there, and Mr. Niagara went inside and he had to add my name to register, whatever, to let them know that I was there and to answer the questions. Do you have a cough or cold? Anybody you know have a cough or have a cough or cold? Have you traveled? Those sort of things. And then we got in line and we were about fourth maybe in line. And we waited maybe not much more than 5 minutes if it even was. And then they called my name. Oh, sorry. I have a scratchy throat. I didn't even realize that I did. So, yeah, so then we went in and then it was just like boom, 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 and I was done. So I'm one of these people that it's hard to take blood from. I have been told that I have thin veins that like to hide. So she started on my left arm, which is where they always start. And then they go to my right arm. And if that doesn't work, they start going to all sorts of places on my body. I've had it taken from my hand, which hurts like, oh, it hurts. And I've had it taken from my foot once. But she got it on the left arm. It didn't take her very long. And she took her vials of blood. And then they took me into another room where I had my ECG, I believe is what they call it. And I had one of those done. The lady said that somebody else would be coming in right away because she had to go start her lunch. And so she did. Basically gave me time to put on the gown and get up on the table. And that was lickety. That was quick. And I did that. And then I went home. And that was my outing for the day. So it wasn't anywhere near as bad as I thought it would be. No waiting at all. But then I just got very, very nervous about having to go out again on Thursday, 2 days in a row. It just like really does me in. The energy that it requires is enormous. So yeah, I spent most of Wednesday and Wednesday night just being anxious. Not, over the top anxious or anything, just, deep breathing settled me down and everything. Didn't have an attack or anything. But yeah, that is what I did. And then on Thursday, I was very anxious and we were leaving, so I had to take my pills, which relax me when I'm really worked up. I don't take them when I'm in the house because I can always deal with it unless I'm having a crisis. Then I'll take them. I mean, I do take regular medication for my anxiety, but these are like quick acting ones, like for not necessarily emergencies, but just so that I can have a normal, or as normal a life as I can have. So whenever I go to the clinic, they always ask me if there's been a particular area that's been bothering me, and my lower back has been like really bad since my last visit. So yeah, I told them that. So then they'll concentrate on there. Like normally they just give me them all over, and if I have a particularly bad area, then they'll kind of concentrate on that area and use less in the other areas, so I always get it all over. Just sometimes it's evenly spread out and other times it's concentrated somewhere. Which it was this time, and I felt pretty good right after it. And I was really quick there too. Couldn't believe it. Like, I came in and I thought I had to go to the bathroom, and I thought, should I go to the bathroom first, or should I check in and then go to the bathroom, and maybe they'll be ready to call my name by the time I get out. So I think, I'll check in first and then go to the bathroom. So I do, and I'm on my way to the bathroom, and the nurse comes up to me and she says, "Good, you're ready, let's go." And I'm like, I was just on the way to the bathroom. Can I please go? What room do you want me in? So I said, okay, I'll meet you there. There, that looks nice. Now I just have to go over it again because it's very lightly, but very closely. Because I have a terrible time, and it's with markers too, and gel pens. It does not matter what I use, but I cannot color yellow without leaving line. Like, blank spaces that don't get colored. Even though I've gone over this 2 times, and this is already, I can see the white spots that just never got colored. It's ridiculous. It's like I can't see the color yellow properly. So this is the only time, this is the last time I'm going over it. So let's hope I get there. So last time I promised you I would catch you up with the film noir that I watched. Of course, now since it's been since Monday, I don't have as good a memory of it as I did before, but I did write down that it was called Killer Bait. It was from 1949, and it starred someone called Elizabeth Scott. Now, I have never heard of her. I have no idea who she is, but she kind of had a familiar look to her. I've watched tons of black and white movies, like from this era. So I mean, it's possible I've come across her before. Maybe she was very popular back then, and I've seen her in other things. I don't know. But anyways, she was a fantastic actress. She was like really, really good, and the movie was very good as well. So, you know, you never know when you're watching one of these movies on YouTube, because the title of it will just say, you know, film noir 1950 starring somebody, and usually they're not famous people, because the ones with famous people in them get taken down pretty quick. So if you're watching one with somebody famous in it, or you see one with somebody famous in it, watch it quick, because it won't be there the next time you look for it. There, that looks nice. I like that. So now let's see if I can put together a blonde color here. I'll keep my blender. Okay, so I don't want the bright yellow, but if I use this yellow and that brown and maybe peach, let's see what that looks like. I forgot to bring my piece of paper over, so I'm gonna be doing it on a piece of tan paper here. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So I may have to go over it with the yellow after I've done the 3. We'll see what it looks like. So, if you like watching film noir, then
So they drop. Do they open it right there, or do they wait? Yeah, they do. They open it there right away. And yes, it's money. And like they say $60,000, and obviously $60,000 is a lot of money by the way they react. In 1949, it was a lot of money. So, you know, they were acting the way we would be if it was like, say, $500,000. And so the lady's like, oh, wow, yes, oh, how lucky we are. Oh, you know, she's all excited. And the husband's like, we must go to the police right away. And she convinces him to, like, go home and, like, let's take a good look and see what's going on here, you know. So they do, and they do. And she convinces him to keep it for a week so that they can decide, because they've been arguing over him saying they must go to the police, the money won't make them happy, they're already happy, they don't need money. And she's like, oh, this is what I've always wanted my whole life, is to be rich, and blah, blah, blah. And so at this point we can tell by some of the looks on her face, like she's not whiny. You know, you don't think, oh my God, what a whiner. But you get these looks on her face. She gets these looks on her face when he's not looking at her, and you're thinking, she's not as easygoing as she looks. You know, you get this feeling that she's like hard, cold, calculating, but only a little bit. And the movie progresses from there, and she ends up being home when this guy comes to the door, and he's the guy who was supposed to get the money in the first place. Well, she starts messing around with him, and she's got a gun, because it's her husband's, and she takes it out of the drawer, and he's got a gun, and well, they end up started, you know, they don't trust each other, but they're working with each other, because he can't get the money unless she gives it to him, and she has no intentions of ever giving it to him, but she has to get rid of him because her husband will find out that he's after them, and he'll make them take the money to the police. So yeah, to make a long story short, and I think at this point I'm going to just use these two. To make a long story short, she ends up being involved with this guy, in cahoots with him. She loves her husband, but she ends up committing terrible crime, and then she has to cover up her crime, and yeah, it just goes from there. She gets worse and worse and worse into trouble, but we start seeing that in reality she is a hard, calculating woman, and that she's no stranger to this kind of life. We'd already been told a little bit about her background before she was with this guy that she loved, and there was something a little fishy that could have possibly gone on in her past, so we knew that. So I'm not going to tell you any more because I don't want to spoil it for you, but if you like film noir, then yeah, go watch it. You'll like it. It's a good one. So, yeah. That's all I have to say about that. I don't know if you can hear my cat or not, but she must be shut out of my son's room because she is meowing like it's the end of the world. She's howling. And you know, she does that if any door is closed up here. There's 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. So the doors have to be open. If one is closed, then she will sit in front of it and howl, especially if somebody's in there. So, I mean, you have to invite her inside the bathroom with you. So, don't really have too much more to say. Of course, let me know down below what it is that you've been doing while you were watching me, because I love to read your answers. So, from last week's video, it seems like a lot of you were diamond painting when you were watching me. The week before, there was a theme of doing chores that kind of ran through you guys' answers. So let's see what you're up to this week. Anyways, what's the weather like where you are? It's kind of in between. One day it will be fall weather, and then the next day it'll be back up into the 80s. So it's kind of playing havoc with my system. Probably why I have the sore throat. Well, it's not a sore throat. It's just a scratchy one that's irritated. And I know I'm not going to be able to talk on here much longer because of it. I've almost drank my drink. So let's do a would you rather. And I have to tell you guys, I just absolutely love reading your answers to these. It is so interesting to see the different answers. And the reasons. Okay, we did that one last time. I guess I should cross it out. Alright, so I have no idea what this is. Ooh. Would you rather be able to talk with the animals or speak all foreign languages? Okay, I pretty much know my answer right away. It would be fun to be able to talk with the animals and to find out more about their needs and stuff, and, you know, what they think about things. But it's not like they're going to have IQs of, like, university professors. So, you know, we do have to remember that we've determined on what kind of, you know, we know which animals have high IQs, like the dolphins and the whales and, I don't know, apes and whatever. And then we know which ones don't, like bugs and toads and I don't know. I have no idea. But it would be fun. I have to give you that. But I see that, and immediately the first thing I think of is that if I could speak all foreign languages, then I could find out what other countries, well, I mean, you know, you could find out what people really think from other countries, because right now, like, you know, if there's something going on in a foreign country, well, like, you know, take the Jewish and the Palestine thing. Well, you know, we know what's going on, and we have what they say interpreted to us in English, because they're not speaking to each other in their country in English. They're speaking in their own languages, and I believe they're two different languages, so they probably, only some of them will speak the other people's languages, so the people of those of that country or those countries are probably
having what the other side said interpreted to them as well. And interpretations can never be exactly the same, because you can interpret something literally and then it will be awkward English, because they'll put their adjectives at the end of the sentence, or they'll put their verb at the end of the sentence, It'll all be messed up, Some of them will be talking like Yoda if you converted it to English, or it may just kind of not make sense. It might mean something totally different. And then the other way that they can interpret is to translate it into common English. So I need to color while I do this. Is they will translate it into common English, but that's very, very tricky, because then you start getting into using culturally accepted words in English that aren't in the other language. Well, take for example something that I told you guys what the translation of it was. Kanoko Igusa's book Menuet de Bonheur. Well, literally translated, that means dance of happiness. Okay, so, or actually, literally, it means dance of good men. But good times. Sorry, not good men. I was just thinking of bon ami for a minute there. But no, it's bonheur, so that's good times. Dance of good times. Well, that's not really, we don't speak like that. So it's translated into dance of happiness. Well, we don't really talk like that either. If we were having a dance of good times, if you were out there on the football field and you did a little dance of good times, no. You did a little dance of happiness, and closer, but not right. You would be doing a happy dance. That's how we say it. And see, it's not that important that Menuet de Bonheur, dance of good time, ends up being a happy dance. That's not important, but can you imagine if it's in a political scenario? It could be really important. So if we could speak all those languages, we would understand all of those languages. And I'm assuming here, I'm going to take a jump here and have them, when it says you, let's imagine that it was not just me, but it was you, everybody. Think that would be a way to peace on earth, is if we could understand each other, which could bring up a whole different conversation if you start, like I could take that on another level with theology added into that, but obviously I won't. So yeah, I would rather speak all foreign languages, because if it was just me, I would be able to help politicians and governments of different countries understand each other better. And if it was more than just me, if it was like everyone, then I think we would have peace on earth to begin with, because we would all understand each other. There's so many things happen because of misunderstandings. And a small misunderstanding can lead to a big event. And you can just take your misunderstandings into different areas. Just hang on a second, because I'm going to answer that. Hi, I'm filming right now.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just gonna say goodbye.
Okay.
So I think we'll end it there, guys. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and until next time, bye-bye.